Hey, what's up guys? The Big Russian here. Today I'm going to be covering an optional rule that I play with in my D&D games that I realize my players don't really understand, and that's the optional Feats rule. Feats, if you're not familiar with it, are an optional abilities you can take instead of an ability score improvement. So, for example, your Great Axe wielding Berserker Barbarian hits level 4, and normally, without Feats, he could take a +2 to one of his stats or a +1 to two of his stats. But with feats, he could take, a feat to enhance his game. Because he uses Great Axe, maybe he takes the Great Weapon Master to improve his Great Axe use. Feats are made to enhance certain types of playstyles or abilities, and makes them a bit more unique, and frankly, with some of them, outright gives a power boost to certain builds. And Dungeon Masters can be very divided about these feats and whether they should include them or not in their game. And it makes sense. These are very powerful. They make characters better. For example, let's look at the feat the Barbarian took, Great Weapon Master. It's arguably one of the best damage dealing options for feats, and rightfully so. If we took a look at the feat, you have the ability to, instead of making a normal melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the hit roll. So, in other words, you have a -5 penalty to hit. However, if you hit with that attack, you do a guaranteed +10 damage to the attack. That is extremely powerful, and rightfully so. Say this barbarian, who's a berserker barbarian mind you, comes to 5th level, where he can get 3 attacks off using his bonus actions for a 3rd attack, and make it 2 attacks with his attack action. If he's able to essentially have all these attacks hit, he can deal a guaranteed 30 points of additional damage right off the bat. To be fair, the -5 to hit penalty could make some of those attacks missed, but the -5 penalty can be offset pretty easily. With that barbarian, he could use his reckless attack that he gets at 2nd level, and make sure he has advantage, so he may be more likely to hit. Furthermore, say another character like a Conquest Paladin could use his Channel Divinity to add +10 bonus to hit. To sum this up, feats like this make PCs more powerful and effective. So if you're a Dungeon Master considering using these feats, you have to take that into account with combat encounters and other counters in general. Now for feats options, there are 2 types of feats between the Player's Handbook and the Xanathar's Guide. There are normal feats, which are in the Player's Handbook, and race feats that are in the Xanathar's Guide. For normal feats in the Player's Handbook, there are a good variety of feats that can be used for different types of characters, like shown before with the Great Weapon Master, but with also other types of archetypes. For example, do you want to be an expert marksman with a bow? So take the Sharpshooter feat. You can have no penalty to using ranged weapon attacks over your long range. Furthermore, your weapon attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover, and before you can make attack, you can do a -5 penalty, and if the attack hits, you can do a +10 damage. Or maybe say you're a caster that's having trouble keeping concentration after taking hits, or you want to be more effective in combat, then maybe you should take the Warcaster feat. The Warcaster feat allows you to have advantage on Constitution saves to maintain concentration, and you can make a reaction when a hostile creature moves, provokes an opportunity attack from you. You can use your reaction to cast a spell at the creature rather than making an opportunity attack. And the spell must have a casting time of 1 action, and the target must only be that creature, which makes sense. But these are extremely effective and make characters better. Now the other type of feats that are featured in Xanathar's Guide are race feats. These allow characters of a certain race to enhance their abilities because of their heritage, so these feats are gated depending on what race your character is. Like normal feats, they can be taken in lieu of an ability score improvement. A good example for a race feat would be the Infernal Constitution feat that Tieflings can take. It allows for their fiendish blood to run strong in you, unlocking a resilience akin to those possessed by some fiends. So, you get a +1 to your con, you gain resistance to cold and poison damage, and you have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. Now, an interesting thing to note for role-playing is that the Xanathar Guide says that your PC would start to show more traits of the origins of its race if it took a race feat. For instance, Tiefling would start to show more infernal and fiendish traits after taking Infernal Constitution. So maybe their horns grow more sharp and dangerous or bigger, or its appearance seems more demonic than humanoid like before. But overall, feats are in general a good way for PCs to min-max their characters, make them more effective in combat, and or to add flavor to your character. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more content like this. and thanks for watching, and have a great day.